Hello, everyone. On this episode, I'm going to be talking about Broken Sword 3 The Sleeping Dragon. This came out all the way back in 2003, 30 years ago. Now, I am a huge Broken Sword fan. I absolutely adore the first two games, and I love the two main characters, Nico Collard and George Stobart. Love them. I think they're the best couple in video games. And this game, is a big departure, as you could tell. It basically goes from the 2D animation cartoon look of the first two games to full on 3D, basically, in this one. I guess it kind of works okay for 2003. If you played games back then, like I did, because I'm old as shit, this game kind of fits into that time period. And this came out for like PC, Xbox, PlayStation 2. So, it has that look of the time. So it kind of works. Now, naturally, I would prefer the 2D animation, and that's why I'm glad in Broken Sword 5 they went back to the animation, just because there's something unique and charming about it. The 3D is okay. The game has a lot of cutscenes that I think are very cinematic, and I think that kind of works well with the 3D. Like, it would be interesting to see it with 2D. Like in the director's cut of the first one, they kind of have cutscenes in there with the cartoon and stuff, which works, yeah. And you can kind of see what they were trying to do with that in this one. But yeah, they basically changed a lot. They changed the look. They changed the gameplay a lot. This is almost like a stealth mystery game, kind of like it's still kind of a point and click, but not like the first two. Yeah, you basically have to walk up to stuff and see what you can do to it. And yeah, I think it works. The gameplay, there were parts where I liked the gameplay, like sneaking around and stuff and climbing buildings and shimmying and stuff. The puzzles are okay. The puzzle near the end with the river puzzle when we were in Egypt, I liked that one a lot. I thought that was a very cool puzzle. And I knew going into the game that people hated the box puzzles, and I was okay with them for like the first five, but then once it gets to like 10 or so, I'm like, okay, guys, enough with the fucking box puzzles. Hell, they even give you one before the final boss fight. And I'm like, really? You just had to squeeze one more in there? So, yeah, the box puzzles are annoying, but everything else with the gameplay is pretty interesting. They have Quicktime events, which I thought was hilarious. I was not expecting that. And that's easily the most times I died in this game was because of the QuickTime events. These QuickTime events are merciless. They will fucking kill your ass. And it's heartbreaking seeing George or Nico get killed in the cutscene because you fuck up on a QuickTime event. But yeah, it kind of makes you pay more attention, I guess. But yeah, story wise, I think this takes place basically right after the second game, maybe a couple of years after the second game, and George and Nico, I think, have broken up again. So, yeah, George is pretty much off doing his own thing, and Nico's off doing her investigative, reportive thing, and they end up getting back together and solving this mystery. I don't want to go too much into it, but it's a pretty good story, and the main villains are pretty freaking bad. That's the thing with the main villains in the Broken Sword game. Something charming and almost childlike with the way these games look, but the villains are always hardcore, like James Bond level bad. Maybe even worse. Petra, the blonde chick in this one, she fucking kills a lot of people. She kills George and Nico if you fuck up on the QuickTime events, and Cesario is a really bad guy. Yeah, these are bad people. So yeah, the story is really good. The music is really good. The script is funny. Like, there are legitimately laugh out loud moments in this game. The dialogue between George and Nico is the best part of the game. Yeah, absolutely. When they are doing stuff together, it's unbeatable. It's almost like pairing Lara Croft with Nathan Drake almost. Yeah, it's just, there's a reason why I said they are the best couple in video games. And yeah, we get to go around the world and do cool stuff. We get to go to the Congo, Glastonbury, Prague, Egypt, Paris, of course. Yeah. In fact, we get to go to some of the places we went to in the very first Broken Sword game, so that was pretty fun. Looking at reviews nowadays on Steam, people don't like it, mainly because of the 3D instead of 2D animation look. They hate the puzzles, but back then in 2003, it actually got really good reviews, which I can understand and see for, what it would have been like back then. So kind of makes sense to me. But yeah, as far as I know, as far as my opinion goes, this is a very, very good adventure game. Is it better than the first two? No, but I feel like the cutscenes were better in this one. I kind of feel like the script was better in this one. Yeah, I mean, there were certain things I liked a lot in this one. So, is it worth playing? Absolutely. Is it better than the first two? No, but there's still a lot to like in this one. Now, the next one, Broken Sword 4, is supposed to be, I think, the worst game in the series. So, I'm kind of about that one, but I'll try and go through it this year. We'll see. But as far as this one goes, I liked it. So if you like the Broken Sword games, definitely check this one out. And if you have not checked out the Broken Sword games, definitely go back and do the first two. And then if you want to, check this one out. I think you'll like it too.